On show in Moscow's Military Museum, a new exhibition. This is a brief history of the recent Georgian War, and one of the main attractions, American guns and equipment captured on the battlefield. The Russians have been quick to build this conflict into their history. They believe the war began only after America gave the OK, creating yet another point of tension. George Bush famously declared he looked into then-President Vladimir Putin's soul and declared it good. But since then, relations between the two powers have grown strained.
We spent a lot of time in our relationship trying to get rid of the Cold War. It's over.
The Cold War may be over, but Georgia, Russian missile sales to Syria, Moscow's nuclear cooperation with Iran, NATO expansion, all are hot topics of dispute. The man in charge of the United Nations office in Moscow says the two must work together to diffuse tension.
For the United Nations, it's extremely important that big powers and Russia and the United States in particular, that big powers are on good terms and they sort of interact positively.
Russians know whoever wins in November, it will impact on their relations with the US and the wider world. In general terms, they see McCain as more confrontational, more hard-line, and that's reflected on the streets.
I
want Obama. When I listen to him, I prefer his view of what a president should be.
I don't really care who wins, as long as the relations are warmer and there is friendship between us.
Putin should be the president of the United States.
Whether it's Obama or McCain, both may be surprised to learn a lot of their foreign policy agenda hinges on what Russia can do to help.
The problem of non-proliferation of nuclear weapons in Iran cannot be solved without Russia. Middle East, it cannot be solved without Russia. Energy security cannot be solved without Russia. Climate change cannot be solved without Russia. So there is a whole list of the issues in the American agenda which cannot be solved without Russia.
The war in Georgia brought condemnation from both presidential candidates. They described it as Russian aggression. In fact, the language used recently suggests there's little between the two in their attitude to this former adversary. The reality is Russia is radically different from the one that George Bush encountered when he first took office. It's stronger, richer, more confident, and its leadership is willing to confront the US. Whoever takes over as the new president, when it comes to Russia, they're going to have to develop a whole new approach. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Moscow.